My name is Paul. I'm one of the deployment supervisors here in Elf Carousel. So, joining us for this session is one of your advisors, Charites and Marian. So, another advisor from deployment department is Janice.
Hi everyone.
And
Good
then,
evening.
good evening. And another one is Charites. This might be familiar to you. So, si Miss Glenda is joining us
Oh,
today.
yeah. Hi, Miss Glenda. Hello, good morning. Charitas, hello.
Hi.
Me? Yes, hello.
Yes
It's
po.
great to see you there. And welcome to our Kamusta Nurse. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good so far. So no
Okay.
complaints at all.
All right, that's great to hear. And of course, your children, how are they doing as well?
Actually, they're currently in sports right now. So that's why I was initially requesting to move the meeting because I wanted to watch their game. But I guess it's okay. It's their first game. So both of my kids are pretty much active in sports at school.
All right, thank you so much for that. And thank you for joining us here.
First, you'd like to get kung nasan kayo naka-assign, no? So, let's start with Charites. So, saan
So,
tayo
hi.
naka-assign?
Yep, I'm currently assigned in a skilled nursing facility here in Gregory Sapna.
Okay, that's good. And how about you, Marian?
Hi, good evening, good morning dyan sa Philippines. So, I'm currently assigned in a hospital here in Florence, South Carolina, in McLeod Regional Medical Center.
All right, well, that's good. That's good to hear. So, Charites, how long have you been there in the US?
I arrived December 5, 2021. So it's gonna be my second year this December.
Oh,
December.
wow.
I'm
So,
here.
yeah, and one more year, and
One more year.
and you will be ending your contract with North Carousel.
Yeah.
Okay, but how's the experience so far?
That's what I've been telling a while ago since I initially arrived. Time flies, I didn't really realize that almost 2 years and almost gonna end my contract next year. But when I initially arrived, it was still fresh on my memory. Health Carousel took care of me very well. Initially nasa Pilipinas pa lang ako hanggang sa pagdating ko rito, I never felt abandoned. So they really took care of from house picking, from my SSN applications and all that. So so far, I never regretted on choosing Health Carousel to reach my American.
Oh, that's good. That's good to hear naman, Charites. It's very flattering. And of course, on behalf of Health Carousel, thank you so much for trusting your American dream with us. So, how about you, Marian? How long have you been staying in the US?
1 year and 6 months na. And okay naman, enjoy naman din. So, masaya yung experience from the start hanggang ngayon. So, walang regrets. So, even yung mga iba kong kakilala sa Philippines, ni-encourage ko sila na mag-apply sa Health Carousel, lalo na yung mga graduating kong mga kakilala, mga relatives.
First Thanksgiving dyan sa US. Kasi December ka dumating. So, the following year, you have experienced Thanksgiving. So, kumusta yung first Thanksgiving mo?
So just so you know, my community is really a small town. So just to give you an overview how small it is, we are just 1% Asian here. So pag sinabi mong 1% on a 1,000 population, siguro parang mga ilan lang yun? 4? Mga ganon. And 4. So the Filipinos here is just me, my 2 kids, and the other 2 Filipinas that married an American. So yung ibang Asian are Vietnamese. So yun, kami lang ang Asian dito. So my first Thanksgiving, yung Filipino community dito na kami lang, they invited me over to join them. So other county, it was just like an hour drive from my place. And so hindi ako, kasi since December ako dumating. So first 4th of July yung una kong na-experience na holiday. Tama ba ako? Kasi I December, diba?
Yeah, oo.
So first 4th of July ko, I was working, and medyo dun ko na feel na, oh, this is really America, kasi nakita ko yung mga veterans, they're doing the parade, and it's really a big thing here sa US, the 4th of July. So hindi katulad sa Philippines na we do fireworks every New Year, di ba? So dito, dun nila ginagawa. And just so you know, South Dakota, medyo extreme ang weather. So I really didn't feel, medyo na homesick ako when we initially first experience our Christmas and New Year here, kasi sobrang tahimik, walang fireworks, walang walang gatherings, kasi lahat sila nasa loob ng bahay because it's really snowing by that time. But when first 4th of July ko, dun ko na feel na very festive yung holiday na yon, because they were a lot of fireworks, and I was currently at work and nakita ko yung parade nila. They really gave way to pay respect to the elderly, since I'm working in a skilled nursing facility. So they gave way to show the parade, and gumawa sila ng way para yung parade dumaan facility namin. So I experienced that. And my kids were also in band, so they were able to participate. So that's my first 4th of July. And then Thanksgiving, yun nga, I was invited by the Filipino community, and then dun ko lang na-realize na, oh, I'm not the only Filipino here. Marami pala talaga. So, I spend my Thanksgiving with the Filipino community. So, medyo hindi na homesick kasi may mga kababayan
Ay, kababayan. Okay, that's good. That's good to know, Charites. How about you, Marian?
Ayun, dito ko rin na-realize nga, parang sobrang big deal sa kanila ng 4th of July and Thanksgiving compared sa ating Christmas and New Year. Hindi ko siya masyadong na-feel kasi naka-duty kami. So parang naka-work kami noon, puro Asian. So hindi naman siya pure Pinoys, mixed Indian, ganyan. Sila naka-leave. Yung mga American, syempre it's a big deal sa kanila yun. So potluck lang, and then yung ibang mga Pinoy na nandito sa Florence, nag-invite din kung sino yung mga naka-off. So tahimik in a way, pero yun nga, big deal sa kanila yung occasion. Tsaka parang weeks before talagang naka-file na sila ng leave, so ready na sila to go. So yun nga, kami yung mga yun naiwan, mga Asian sa hospital, so which is nakakatuwa lang din. Pero Christmas and New Year, in-alternate nila kami ng duty and versus off. So, fair naman sila. So, lang din, mababait naman din talaga sila. Considerate din. Hindi sila, pinapakita rin nila na concern sila sa ibang lahi, hindi lang kapwa Amerikano, ganyan. So, magandang experience yun for me. So, yeah.
Yeah, so how about yung first vacation nyo? Or first vacation mo in the US?
No, hindi pa talaga ako nakaka-request ng PTO from them. Pero kasi ang process dito, compared sa atin sa Philippines, ang duty kasi 8 hours. Pero dito kasi, usually, yung ginagawa sa work is 12 hours per shift. Minsan sunod-sunod na 3 days. And that's good na yun, minimum na yun for a week. And then, you'll have 4 days straight na off. So, parang yun na yung mga mini vacations namin. So, we will drive off, mga interstate, ganyan, mga 1 hour, 2 hours away from here. So, parang nakikita mo talaga siya, yung ano talaga yung itsura ng Amerika, yung mga houses, ganyan. So parang nakakatawa, and how they value din. Kasi yung dito sa place na napuntahan ko, medyo conservative sila, unlike California, ganyan yung mga big cities. Approachable sila, and then kahit hindi ka nila kilala, they would approach you and then babatiin ka nila, which is nakakagulat kasi kahit sa Pilipinas minsan hindi tayo ganun eh. Tatanong ka nila, how are you? Ganyan yung mga simple greetings, and they will respect your personal space. Halimbawa, pag magkakasalubong kayo or sa grocery, pag dadaan sila, they would excuse. Talagang, alam mo na parang dito sa southern part, mababait talaga sila, which is, akala ko hindi. So, yun, parang in a way, vacation-wise, hindi pa talaga ako nakakaroon ng mahabang vacation. So, parang, looking forward din, pero okay naman din lahat.
That's very nice. So, ayun, that's good to know, no? Buti, yung environment sa'yo was very welcoming, ayan, or hospitable. So, yeah, that's really nice. How about you, Charites? Have you and your kids, gone to vacation?
Yep. So, our first, actually, when I got my car, that was like after 4 months I arrived here. So, just to share with you also, one of the Filipina here in my community helped me initially kasi syempre wala pa akong social security. So, she lended me one of her cars. So, napakaswerte ko talaga, napaka-blessed ng nangyari sa akin. So, I really cannot thank enough Health Carousel dun sa ginawa nilang support, and on top of that, yung support din ng community also added dun sa sa pag-transition namin dito. And so, because I'm a single mom, it's really hard for me na to venture out somewhere na I don't know anybody. So it's really hard. But when I initially got my car after 4 months or 5 months, when I got my social security, kami, parang ni-reward ko agad yung sarili namin because it's a celebration, it's a win for the three of us. I got 2 girls, to successfully transition here in the US with nobody that we know of dun sa small community. So we drove to Minnesota, that's 6 hours away from South Dakota. So after that, actually, ang target ko is like every year we will visit this 3 to 4 states every year. So yung kasi kapag nasa Midwest ka, yun yung medyo maganda because you're in the middle of every state. So we're trying to visit every state na malapit sa amin. So we drove to Minnesota. After that, like 2 months after, we visited Nebraska. And then last Christmas, we spent our Christmas with our family in California. And then ngayong last 2 months ago, we visited Chicago. And then last month, we visited Texas. So medyo marami na, mga 6 na state na yung na-visit namin ng mga kids. So that's our rebreather. Yan. Kasi syempre, kapag work mode talaga ako. Alam ni ni Raisa yon kapag yung ilang hours ako nag-work every week, I make it to the point that we also reward ourselves after those hours of work. Usually, ang maximum hours ko, I don't want to say it, pero I'm really making, kasi usually kapag Filipino, di ba, we are used on working 5 days a week. So dito, lagi nilang sinasabi, how can you do that? How can you do that? Like, you're working straight 5 days a week. And I always tell them that it's something common to the Filipino people, that we are really hard workers, and that's the usual thing. We work 5 days a week. So sila kasi 3 days lang yung work. So after those hard work, make it to the point that we reward ourselves. So medyo marami na kami, 2 years na nandito kami, medyo marami na kami. I can say na visit ng mga states and nagbakasyon.
You're at work, where or who are taking care of them? Or are there any facilities where they can go to, like schools or anywhere else?
Yeah, so that's my initial challenge at first, because I was really scared. I don't know anybody, and I don't feel comfortable leaving them in sa house na nirerenta namin initially. So one of the Filipino offered help to let them stay with her while I'm working, and then eventually that ran about a month. And then nung nakita ko na that the community is really, really safe, to the point that they're not even locking their doors here in this community. So ganun siya ka-safe, and everybody's really extending help. So meron silang school administrator na nag-o-offer ng ride, kasi sometimes they do miss the bus kasi medyo may mga extracurricular activities pa sila. So pag may mga ganong time na hindi sila nakakasakay ng school bus, yung school administrator yung sumusundo sa kanila. So, sa lagi kong sinasabi, I'm so blessed dahil on top of that, nawawala yung worry mo. Habang nag-work ka, you know that your kids are all safe. So, just so you know, one of the things that I accomplished in my almost 2 years here, I was able to buy a house.
That's great.
Yes, we are
Congratulations, Charites.
Yeah. So, this is, we initially stayed sa house. We rented it for 6 months, and then after that, luckily, merong nag-up na house for sale, and then kinausap ko yung may-ari na, can you wait for me to build my credit history? So nirent muna namin yung house initially for 6 months, and then when I was able to build up my credit history, I was approved of a mortgage loan. So right now we're on our own house. So that's one of the
Okay.
biggest accomplishment. And then going back to your question, dami kong
Yes.
sinasabi, Miss
Yeah,
Glenda.
but
So
well, that is, sige.
the house that
Okay.
I bought is
Hmm.
just like less than 5 minutes away from my facility.
Oh,
Sobrang
that's
lapit
right,
lang, less than
right.
5 minutes. So if in any
Mm-mm.
case my kids will need extra ride, my director of nursing is so very kind, on allowing me to quickly sneak out kapag kailangan nila ng drive, because she makes it to the point that we always have 2 nurses on the floor. So magpapaalam lang ako na, hey, can I pick up my kids sa school? Naiwan sila ng school administrator. That yon, mag-aaral sila, papayagan nila ako lumabas para pick upin sila, and then eventually nakapag-adjust na rin yung kids ko to be independent.
Also, you mentioned about your credit history, and I think most of our nurses are not really much aware of it. So, in that case, how did you handle it?
Yeah, so for credit history, I initially wala talaga akong alam about it. Like when we visited the malls, the salesperson will offer you, hey, do you want a credit card? I really didn't know that it will affect my credit card. So ako, yes lang ako ng yes. Until eventually, nakikita ko that yung mga inquiry about credit card, it affects my credit history. It's going down. And then I did some research about it. So don't jump into, kapag kararating nyo lang, wag kukuha ng maraming credit card agad. So just stick to one credit card and make sure that you pay your due amount and don't exhaust all the balance. I mean, just use probably 30% of that credit card. Yung usage mo, you need to make it to the point that you need to just utilize 30% out of that entire balance na ibibigay sa'yo. And so because of that, makakapag-build ka ng mabilis na credit history, or maganda yung maging credit history.
For the credit score, yung naging first initial sa akin kasi, ang advice sa amin, kung makakuha kami ng credit card, para hindi tayo magkaroon ng hard inquiries, yung arrival coordinator ko na from Passport USA din, nung nag-apply kami ng bank, nung dumating kami dito, tinanong niya kagad kung pwede kami mabigyan ng credit card na mabibuild ng credit score namin. Kasi yun talaga yung basis nila dito kung paano tayo makakakuha ng magandang loan para hindi mababa yung interest, para mababa yung interest, tapos maganda yung presyuhan nila, parang ganun. So, aside from that, sa sinabi ni Charites, ang magandang bagay about kung maganda yung credit score mo, kasi may mga range sila kung good ka or average. Pag nakita nyo ng mga nagpapautang sa kotse, sa bahay, or sa lahat ng utang, ibig sabihin, capable ka magbayad ng inutang mo. So, hindi sila matatakot na pautangin ka. And at the same time, bukod dun sa pagbabayad mo on time, dapat wala kang late payments. And then, kung kaya mong bayaran ng buo ka agad, na nare-revolve mo yung balance mo, maganda siya in time, na maganda yung record mo sa credit score mo. So, bumababa yung interest, and at the same time, katulad doon, sa sasakyan, meron kang insurance. So, kung maganda yung credit history mo, bumababa yung binabayaran mo monthly sa susunod na 6 months na cycle mo for the car. Ganun lang siya. Parang yun yung napakalaking basis nila sa economy in relation sa atin, sa mga nurses dito, na parang pag maganda yung credit score mo, okay ka, hindi ka mahirap pautangin, hindi ka mahirap magbayad, kahit sabihin nila na ay nurse to, pero kung hindi ka magandang mag-manage ng pera, hindi sila masyadong okay. And then, aside na sa sinabi ni Charites, hindi magandang mag-apply ng maraming credit card, kasi yung ibang credit card na dapat mag-100, ganyan, may mga ganon. Hit mo yung unang-una yung health carousel, kasi malaki yung preparation na ginawa eh. And then at the same time, yung mga nauna na dito, yung kinonect sa mga arrival ambassadors and mga kapwa Pinoys, yung sharing ng info, yung na-prevent mo yung mistake na nagawa nila. So, yun, yung mga maliit na bagay, which is malaki yung naitulong na nakabawas sa stress, tsaka nakatulong sa adjustment dito sa US. So, marami pa. So, parang konti lang, pero yung mga major na bagay na nakakatuwa na parang, ay, ganun pala yun. So, mas ma-appreciate mo pag nandito ka na. So, ayun.
All right. So yeah, thank you for sharing, Marian Charites. So next up is na-mention nyo kasi kanina about cars. Okay. So katulad kanina si Charites, she mentioned that you're driving interstates, no? So how was it difficult to get a driver's license compared sa process dito sa atin sa Philippines? And what are the requirements or before kayo kumuha ng lisensya? Ano ba yung ginawa niyong preparation? To start off, let's start with Charites kasi siya yung madalas mag-drive for your kids, no? So kumusta yung naging process ng driver's license dyan?
So far, since driver na kasi ako sa Philippines pa lang, I'm still asking why ganun kahaba yung process. I'm sorry, I love Philippines, but
Yeah, oo, and right now mahaba pa din siya.
yes, mahal ko ang Pilipinas, pero dito, I never experienced that long line. All I did is that I prepared for it. So there's a manual. Somebody oriented me, a local here sa community, drove me sa kanilang parang ano bang tawag, municipal area nila to give me a handout for the DMV kasi state specific ang mga laws, lalo na sa mga nag-snow na state. So there are different like traffic signs that you need to understand. So yun yung initially na ginawa ko ay habang nag-aantay ako ng social security number ko, so that's your initial requirement, your social security number. So once you have the social security number, of course, you need to prepare for the examination. So, nag-aral ako dun, may booklet na binigay, it's just free, ibibigay lang yun sa'yo or makukuha mo yun dun sa municipal area or office. And then, when na-feel ko na ready na ako, I just called DMV and then requested for an appointment. Hindi siya ganun kahirap, hindi katulad sa Philippines na I'm not sure, don't quote me on this kung ganun pa rin yung status, like you can do walk-ins or whatnot, but you need to set an appointment and then dun sa appointment na yon, walang line, medyo madali lang, so they set me for a written examination and at the same time I did actual driving examination. So medyo ano sa kanila dito, when you say stop, you really need to full stop. So yun yung mga ganong difference sa Philippines kasi we don't have like full stop sa Philippines when it comes to traffic. Dito, if you see a stop sign, you really need to have a full stop. Otherwise, babagsak ka dun sa actual driving exam if you didn't, do full stop. And then when you're gonna turn, you need to really turn your head too para makita mo if there's really a vehicle at the back. So those kind of stuff na dun ko na lang din natutunan for practical yung driving actual exam. So medyo madali siya yung process. And then yung examinations are all online. And then at that same exact date, I have my temporary driver's license. Nakuha ko na siya.
How about you, Marian? So sa stay mo dyan sa US, kasi na-mention mo rin kanina, nagda-drive ka rin, no? So gaano katagal mo na-process din yung driver's license mo?
Mabilis lang, within 1 day. So, ang nangyari kasi, yun nga, SSN, kailangan meron ka. Ang nagpatagal lang kasi sa akin dahil nung time na dumating ako dito, wala pa akong sariling apartment na nakukuha. So, kasi ang initial requirements nila, yung international driver's license mo, titingnan nila yun, which is yung Philippine driver's license natin, which is valid here for 3 months yata, if I'm not mistaken. So, titingnan nila yon, photocopy nila yon, and then kailangan meron kang proof of billing na nakapangalan sa'yo. So, minimum 2 kung pero kasi yung LTO sa atin, which is DMV here, pwede ka rin kasing kumuha ng ID na tinatawag na state ID. Nire-recognize din nila yon, pero kasi mas mabigat or mas may bearing yung driver's license. So, sa state ID naman, proof na nandito ka nakatira. So, kahit yung sa pwede mong isubmit lang yung green card, okay na yon. Pero kung gusto mo talaga ng driver's license, yun nga, proof of billing, tapos yung renter's contract mo, ganyan, minimum of 2 proof of billing. Pero kasi last March yata or May this year, nag-start na silang mag-require na yung driver's license ay gagawin nilang real ID na tinatawag, na ang function naman nun, pwede kang pumasok ng mga federal offices, and then at the same time, pwede mo siyang gamitin na kung may flight ka locally or domestically within the US, driver's license lang okay na. Ang difference lang niya, parang star logo lang siya doon sa mismong driver's license. And that's it. Nire-require na nila yun para hindi mo na kailangan ng passport, which is nakakagulat kasi maraming tao dito sa state or dito sa mismong county na nakilalagyan ko, walang mga passport kasi nga mas okay na sila, mas satisfied na sila sa driver's license. So, babalik tayo dun sa driver's license. So, nung nasubmit ko na yun, kasi nga, it took me a while na makakuha ng apartment, ganyan, internet, yung mga proof of billings, ganyan, form, mag-fill out ka, tapos isasabit mo lang sa counter, tapos magbabayad ka, and at the same time, nandun na yung assessment, yung kailangan ba ng salamin, nandun na yung eye test, walang kailangan na drug screening, drug test, and then pag okay ka, magbabayad ka na ng fee. Ang binayaran ko yata noon, which is $15 lang. And then pag okay ka na, okay na sila, papasukin ka na sa isang room, doon ka magte-test, either computer exam or written exam. Tapos, pag naipasa mo naman, kasi after ng computer exam, mag-appear naman doon kung pass or fail ka. So, kung pass ka, diretso ka na uli sa counter, sabit mo yung papel mo uli, tapos sabihin nila, o sige, wait ka lang, hintayin natin yung examiner mo, ganyan. Tapos, within the day, pwede ka na mag-driving. So, yun, mabilis lang within, kung walang tao, half day, kaya mo makakuha ng driver's license, and may issue na kaagad nila yung lisensya on the spot. Kaya lang, during that time, ano pa bang naging experience ko? Malaking tulong yung sinend sa akin ni Miss Janice na driving packet yata yun, if I'm
Driving
not mistaken.
toolkit.
Yeah, exactly. So, meron siyang, di ba, by state,
By state,
makikita mo
yes.
naman. Kaso, yung sinabi din ni Miss Charites kanina na manual, the driver's handbook, meron, nung time ko kasi, parang may separate payment kung gusto mo makakuha ng handbook, mas preferred nila yung e-copy. So, yun nga, binasa ko lang yun. And then, makakatulong din kung makakapanood sila ng mga YouTube videos na may napanood kasi ako na nirecommend sa akin dito rin mismo sa Florence, sa South Carolina. Pinay siya na actual driving test niya. So, nakikita mo doon yung tanong, maririnig mo yung tanong nung examiner, tapos kung ano yung mga process na ginagawa, mabilis lang. Tapos yun nga, practice lang ng paano mag-backing, 100 meters, ganyan. And then at the same time, sa DMV compound, pwede kayong mag-practice kasi specific din sila sa parallel parking. So, meron tong area, pwede kang mag-parallel parking. Pero sa actual exam, doon ka rin magpa-parallel parking. Pwede kang mag-practice para maging confident ka na. Kaya pwede mo siyang gamitin on a weekend. So, yun yung mga simpleng bagay na nakaka-overwhelm sa umpisa. Parang, oh my gosh, ang dami sasakyan, ang lalaki ng kalye. Pero kasi, the good thing about here is, sila, yun nga, grabe yung respeto nila sa traffic rules, pedestrians, maliit lang din na county to. Kita mo talaga, pag may tumatawid na tao, kahit naka-go, you need to stop. Tapos, yung mga school bus, kailangan, talagang pag nag-stop sila, stop ka rin, hindi ka pwedeng mag-overtake. So, ganun sila ka-specifics and kahigpit sa mga traffic rules na yun nga, na magkukos naman na talaga na magiging safe ka as a driver sa community. So, maraming process pero yun nga, maganda dito systematically, tapos mabilis lahat, kaya parang magugulat ka, ay, pwede palang mangyari yun in half a day. Hindi mo kailangan maghintay ng isang araw, 2 araw, tapos may driver's license ka na. So, yun, talagang malaking bagay na marami kang resources na binigay yung, katulad ng binigay ng Health Carousel, ang dami kong natutunan, and yun nga, yung mga tao rin na from Health Carousel din, na mga nurses na nandito, yung nga, sharing of info, na malaking na itulong towards sa mga ganung kasimpleng bagay na which is malaking impact in the long run.
Okay, that's good. That's good to know, Charites and Marian. So this time, let's talk about yung adjustment naman ng family members nyo. So, Miss Glenda will have some questions regarding sa adjustment ng family members nyo. Miss Glenda?
Hello, good morning ulit. So, my question is about yung adjustment. Of course, when you before you get there to the United States, it's a totally different place, no? Though I know Charles, you have been there kasi you have pinapadala ka before sa US, right? So, yon for business purposes. But then, iba talaga pag doon na kayo nakatira, especially with your
Mhm.
dependents. So, my question would be, how did you cope, especially your dependents, no? How did you cope with your yung day-to-day life, yung una pa lang, especially with the change of weather or the climate? Yun lang yung mga samples. So, how did you how did you adjust, or how did you do your day-to-day life nung nagsa-start pa lang kayo and until now?